Morning guys, so I'm really excited today because I'm heading up to Gisenyi, which is a town on the northwest border of Rwanda with DRC, and it's a really popular place to go for a weekend. And I've been invited to go up there by my friend Solveig, who is opening a new hotel. So I'm going to go up there and take a look around. And I'm really excited both for the hotel, but also because this is going to be the first proper road trip that I've ever taken on my Enfield. So earlier in the year I got a Royal Enfield Classic 500 and I love this bike. It's very me. It's been performing perfectly around town, but I've never taken it long distance. And the trip up to Gisenyi is about 300k round trip, so it's going to get a really decent run. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing how it performs out on the open road. Because Kigali's wonderful, but there's a lot of traffic, you know, so you're often kind of stuck behind things. I'm looking forward to getting out of third gear. Apparently it does have two other gears. Who knew? So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm also looking forward to seeing the hotel, and I haven't been up to Gisenyi for a while. So I was going to go up on Friday, which is tomorrow, but at the moment we've got the UCI World Championships going on. So this is the International World Cycling Championships, and that's also really exciting because it's the first time it's ever been held in Africa, which is pretty awesome. But the only problem is that my house, the street that my house is on, is right on the cycling route. So if I was going to go up tomorrow on Friday, I'd have to leave at 6:30 in the morning to get there before my road closes for the cycling. And spoiler alert, that ain't gonna happen. So I'm leaving a day early because today they don't start till 12. So I've got plenty of time to have my breakfast, have a shower, you know, pack leisurely, and I'm going to head off at about 10:30. So I should be arriving up in Gisenyi early afternoon. And the other thing that I'm kind of coming to terms with is my luggage decisions. So I'm trying to figure out how to pack everything onto the back of the Enfield. Now thankfully it's a pretty, you know, it's a pretty solid bike, so it can cope with quite a lot. But I am not a light packer. I've been trying my entire life to get better at it, but it just doesn't work. I'm one of these people who is like, oh yeah, I probably should take that, you know, when I'm never going to use it, I'm never going to need it. But just for my own peace of mind, I have to take everything. So I've got the heart of a biker, but I've got the mentality of the parent of a newborn. I have to pack everything just in case. So anyway, I've managed it. Everything is now on the bike, so let's get on the road. As you can see guys, the whole street is fenced off ready for the cycling. I believe it's the women's under 23 road race today. There's been a lot of articles in the news about how hard the route is. People really being affected by the altitude and the air quality. It's something I do say in my travel advice videos is be aware of the altitude. This is the land of mountain gorillas, and if you're coming from a country at sea level, which most of the UK is, you're really not prepared for it. Kigali itself is at about 5,000 feet. It's over 200 metres higher than Ben Nevis, which is the highest mountain in the whole of the UK. But when people think of altitude, they usually look up the height at which altitude sickness kicks in, which usually occurs above 8,000 feet. And because Rwanda is below that, they think it's not going to affect them. Altitude sickness is the extreme end of the scale, but people get all sorts of symptoms when they step off the plane in Kigali. Expats who live here often take around 2 weeks to adjust when we get back from visiting our home countries. During that adjustment period, we can feel a little short of breath, find it harder to climb steep hills, feel extremely tired, and sweat much more than normal. It's an important thing to think about when planning your trip. If you want to go hiking or cycling, don't do it on your first day. Give your body a little time to catch up. Some people are also naturally less able to cope with high altitude and feel the effects more than others. I once knew someone who displayed altitude sickness visiting the mountain gorillas, which is practically unheard of and may have been exacerbated by dehydration. All I'm saying is, Listen to your body and don't try to push yourself too hard in the first week of being here. It was interesting to hear visitors talking about the air quality as well, as that can be deceptive. Kigali is renowned for being very clean and very green, which it is. There are trees everywhere and no litter to be seen, but the air quality definitely isn't as clean. It's only this year that the city has introduced emissions testing for vehicles. There's a lot of clapped out lorries and buses spewing fumes, and due to the weather system, a lot of that collects in Kigali, which is like a giant bowl. It can be a tricky place to live if you're asthmatic or suffer from breathing conditions. London has significantly better air quality than Kigali, despite London having 8.5 million more people in it. Kigali is working hard on this. Like I say, they've introduced emissions testing and switched to electric vehicles for public transport. But if you go on a long bicycle or motorbike ride at the moment, you are likely to feel it in your throat the next day. Anyway, just looking at the road ahead, this is honestly insane. I've never seen the roads so quiet before. It's beautiful weather and beautiful empty roads. An absolute pleasure to drive on. So I've just stopped off at our favourite little petrol station to grab a Rolex and a coffee. I did have a little bit of breakfast before I left, but I thought I'd get on the road. For me, I don't really want to stop at Nyiringarama today because it's going to be crazy and I've got a lot of luggage and I can't really go to Nyiringarama and keep an eye on everything. So what I thought I would do is I would stop really early on, just got out of Kigali, going to have something to eat, some coffee, and then I'm going to power through to Musanze, and then I'll stop again at Musanze and carry on up to Gisenyi. So I was also thinking I'm probably not going to film all of this ride, just because there's a couple of problems. I have an Insta360 camera, but the Enfield is, it's a single cylinder thumper of a bike and it rattles and it rolls a bit. And I've noticed that the camera starts to unscrew itself as I ride. So if I'm going long distance, there's a small chance that the camera will fall off the bike. And I don't want to be thinking about that. It's been a really long time since I've been out of Kigali, so I'm just going to ride. I just want to take the equipment off the bike. I just want to enjoy the ride, listen to my music, and get on up to Musanze. But what I will do is I will film when I'm arriving in Gisenyi and show you a little bit of Gisenyi as we come into it. So if you do want to see the entire ride from Kigali up to Gisenyi, I did a video about a year or so ago, which was exactly that. I had a little TVS Star 150. And I filmed the entire ride from Kigali all the way up to Gisenyi. So I'll leave that video somewhere and you can see what the road's like. But for me now, it's a beautiful sunny day, I'm just gonna turn everything off and enjoy the ride. So I shall see you a little further along. This is a petrol station just as you're leaving Kigali. It's got a gift shop. There's also a bathroom behind it. As you can see, it's well kept. Good place for a short call. Now I'm just going to fast forward a couple of hours to Musanze. Hi guys, So I've just pulled into a place called Garden Coffee, because usually when I go up to Gisenyi I stop at Creamer Coffee, and that was in the whole video about driving up to Gisenyi from Kigali. But I was just driving up to it and I looked over, and where Creamer Coffee used to be is just like this building site. They've gone. So I pulled into this place called Garden Coffee. There's a big sign for it next to where Creamer used to be. And this lovely guy, Simon, has just explained that they've moved up the road. So if you carry on up the road towards Gisenyi, you should hit Creamer Coffee at some point. So maybe we'll see that on the drive. But I've stopped here and the most beautiful things happened. I'm sitting outside and I've got the garden, and there's hundreds and hundreds of these tiny little seeds like falling to the ground, and it looks like confetti or snow. It's really, really beautiful. So I'm just sitting watching that fall, and I'm going to have a coffee. It's a good thing I didn't film that part of the drive because it rained almost the entire way. So before I set off, I need to put some wet weather gear on and dry off a little bit. But it's been okay. It's been fine, and the bike is walking through it. It is having no problems at all. Very comfortable drive. So I'm gonna have my coffee. I might have a little bit of a look around this place because they said they have rooms as well. So I'll show you those if I can, and then we'll carry on up to Gisenyi. Oh, they've given me a biscuit. I was hoping for a biscuit. What type of seed is this? Let me know below. So apparently you can also camp here. They say that they usually get the vehicles with the tent on top and they charge 40,000 a night for that, but I think it'll be a bit cheaper if you want to bring a tent. Oh, that is so sweet of them. I parked just here, but when I was having my coffee it was raining, so they moved it underneath the shelter. That's really lovely of them. There's some really pretty flowers here. I see why it's called the Garden Hotel. They've got 2 conference rooms if you're planning an event. Okay, so this is a single room, and they've got a desk and you get a fridge with it. And you also get a really lovely little balcony with a garden view. Nice place to sit and have your coffee in the morning. Very spacious. Hello. And bathroom and shower. So the single was 55 a night, and here we've got a suite for 100,000. And again, we've got a very nice bed, big spacious bed, and an area to sit down and television. And then out here, we've got another balcony area. Again, a very, very nice garden view. Very green. It's beautiful. Nice spacious bathroom. Very nice spacious shower. And we're also quite close to Gisenyi, so if you wanted to stay here with your tour and head up to the gorillas the next day, you're not too far away. And just a very last quick look, this is the VIP lounge, which has got a little kitchen with a microwave, fridge and a sink, and a separate seating area and television. And this is 150,000 a night. So if you want a little bit of added luxury, this is the place to come. So yes, this is the Garden Place Hotel in Musanze. Okay guys, so we're heading out of Musanze now, and as you can see, it's a whole other weather system. It's even like this in Kigali. Every hill has its own climate. It can be pouring down in Gikondo and bright sunshine in Kachiru. But if you're heading north, bring something waterproof and something warm. The further north of Musanze you go, the colder it gets. And when it rains, it really rains. This is where the new COMERA is, but I drove straight past it because the sign is tiny. Blink and you miss it. Musanze is volcano country. We'll probably do a video there soonish, but it's spectacular. From this point north, the world turns Jurassic. It's like stepping into a movie set. The mountains just get bigger and bigger until you hit Nyiragongo on the northern border with DRC. You can sit in the car park at Gisenyi airport of an evening and watch the lava glow. Someone on Reddit recently asked about doing a day trip to Gisenyi. You can't really do it in a day. It's at least a 4-hour trip each way. It's not impossible, but you wouldn't get to enjoy it. If you're going to go, go for the weekend. Right, we're heading up into the wild territory. Looks like it's carrot season. The north of Rwanda is famous for its carrots and potatoes. I've just stopped off to check the luggage and switch the battery in the camera. It's such a beautiful drive, you know, sod it, I've started recording again. But what a difference like a few miles make. It's a bit like British weather at the moment because, you know, when we were in Musanze, it was absolutely peeing it down, and now we're heading to Gisenyi and it's hot and I need to kind of breathe for a second. So the sun has come out. I haven't put my wet weather gear on, which means it's probably going to wee again before I get there. But yeah, it's going quite well. And it's honestly, it's just so beautiful up here. And I'm really enjoying the ride. You know, when you're riding around Kigali, there's just so much traffic. You're never enjoying it because it's start, stop, start, stop. But today, and I think because of the cycling, a lot of people are staying off the roads. So it's actually quite a nice, relaxing drive. Other than repeating how stunningly beautiful Rwanda is, it's hard to think what to say on long rides like this. It is so joyful. This is exactly what motorbikes were made for. You can definitely do this trip in a car or on public transport. I've done both many times. But there is something uniquely wonderful about a bike. There's very little separating you from the elements. You really feel like you're in nature. If you're coming to Rwanda and you want to hire a bike, check out Kigali Motorbike Rental. Anything 150cc and above should get you there quite happily.
You could do it on a 125, but some of those hills will test your patience. Practice your clutch control before you set off, as even on a quiet day like this, you will get stuck going uphill behind a ton of slow-moving and barely moving lorries. Take your time, don't rush the bends, and stop to admire the gorgeous scenery. If you take out cross-border insurance, called COMERA, you can even continue up to Uganda or cut across to Kenya. My friend Mingina just got back from Queen Elizabeth National Park, which is one of the few safari parks that allows motorbikes.
Hi guys, so I've just pulled up again. There's a petrol station just as you come into Gisenyi, and I've had to switch on Google Maps. I have no idea where this place is, and my friend hasn't quite yet reached Gisenyi. Oh, that was a backfire. So I need to head for Bralewa, which is this huge brewery that produces lots of beer in Gisenyi, and from there I have to try and find it. Her directions are so not too detailed, and the other problem is that it's not on Google Maps yet, so nobody knows where this is. So if I get really lost, I'll just head for a restaurant and wait till she gets there, and then she can drop me the location pin. But I'm going to try and find it. Apparently it's really close to Bralewa, so let's go see if we can find it.
Unfortunately, for some reason, Google Maps thinks I'm in the middle of the lake. After consulting a couple of locals, I was soon on my way. This road we're heading down is very famous in Gisenyi, as this is where the beachside bars are. These establishments on the right are where you want to head of an evening if you're looking for music, sambaza and beer. I'll take you round them next time we're in Gisenyi. For now, I really need to find this hotel. Here is where I'm about to make a major mistake. There are two ways to get round the bay: the old road and the new road. The new road continues straight ahead and slightly to the right. The signpost says RDF Special Operations Force, which is the Rwandan Navy. It looks a bit intimidating, but that's the way you should always go. Being windswept and a little bit tired, I took the old road because it says Bralewa on the sign. Ladies and gentlemen, never ever take the old road. Especially never ever take it in the dark. It looks like a normal road, right? But it isn't. The bends on this road ain't messing about. There's a lot of blind corners and a lot of pedestrians. Kids of both human and goat variety are liable to leap out at you along the way, and there are no streetlights at night. This used to be the way that everybody had to come to get to the other side of the bay, and it's the reason the new road now exists. I've done this in a car in the dark a couple of times, and I ended up gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles went white. During the daytime and with little other traffic, it's kind of interesting as it winds through the local village. But the new road goes right along the water's edge, and the views there are really beautiful. So this is my friend's hotel, but I didn't see it because I was looking for Bralewa. She had assumed I was coming in on the new road, so the directions didn't make much sense, and I carried on straight past it. This is Brelewa on the left, the place where all your Primus, Mutzig and Fanta comes from. Isn't it beautiful? And off I went over the horizon, looking for a hotel I'd already passed. I spent the next hour faffing about in the foothills of Gisenyi. To find out whether I eventually made it to the hotel, or whether I spent the night sheltering under a tea bush, tune in to the next episode.